Hey, welcome back to the channel, guys. Talking a little something different today. Now, this is something that I actually got into about 2 years ago and had all intentions of getting in it and uh, doing something great with it, but I kind of lost interest because it seemed like the buzz kind of died down. But let me turn the camera around and show you what we're talking about. Traxxas TRX4M High Trail F-150. This thing is awesome. Little 1/18 crawler. Now, again, a couple of years back, had the Axial SCX24 and messed with it for a little while, kind of lost interest in it, so I wound up trading it off for something else. And then I bought a true 1/18 scale rig from Panda Hobby. It was a little cheaper rig, but it was still a decent performer. And then it seemed like nobody was doing anything with them around the hobby shop, and so it got sold off just to make room for something else. But this is the new buzz around the shop, and when I say buzz, I mean it is a huge buzz. Now, I'm by no means a Ford guy. I'm a Mopar guy, but there is no Mopar bodies, on these rigs right now. And a good buddy of mine has the Chevrolet, I guess it's like a K10 Silverado. Yeah. So I had to buy this Ford, and I'll be lucky if it doesn't start leaking oil everywhere. But what a great rig, man. This thing is highly detailed to be as small as it is. And the wheels on it are just period correct and look amazing on this truck. I was fortunate enough to get this one in black. There's a blue one. I believe there's a brown one also. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it. But I bought this truck yesterday after calling down and finding out they did have some more. And so I went down and bought this and made my buddy that owns a hobby shop. He was not real happy with me, but you had your chance, man. You had your chance. I got it. Killer little piece. Otto, thank you for letting me buy this thing, man. Nice packaging on this thing. Very well packed inside. I'll open the box up in a minute. I'm like a kid when it comes to this stuff, and I cannot wait. And I feel like these unboxing videos are like a dime a dozen anymore, so I figured nobody really be interested in an unboxing of something like this here, but I'd really like to get into like the brass tacks of it all and show you the whats and the why fors. Now, believe it or not, this is actually the second one that I bought. I bought one about 3 weeks ago and enjoyed it a lot, a whole lot. It was not a pickup truck. It was actually the Land Rover Discovery, or the D110 Land Rover. And just, I mean, the body is well detailed. I'll show you that body in a second. And it was a great performer, but it was a little bit on the top heavy side and a whole lot tail heavy in stock form. Here's the body that I actually pulled off of the other truck. Now, as you can tell, I mean, this is really nicely detailed with, the rack on the top, jerry can on the back, high lift jack on the back, spare tire, bumper, got fender flares on it, mirrors, a snorkel, another bumper up front, and a molded grill. It's a very, very, very nice piece. But at the same time, it's a little bit on the heavy side. So I'll show you what I did with that rig when I get done talking about this Ford. Now that we got her naked, you can see the running gear here. Now it's got an 87 turn. Oh, come on, camera. 87 turn motor, a little brush motor. It's got plenty of power for what I want. Now, the only thing I will tell you that I've done, and a lot of guys that I know have done, is the stock gearing in the transmission is great if you're just going to go out and bash the truck. At the hobby shop where I hang out, we do have a course in the back, which I'm hoping to get film of tonight. So Traxxas offers a lower gear set. And so I did that on the other truck. And what a wake-up call for that thing. Doesn't have a whole lot of wheel speed. It needs just a little bit more wheel speed in some instances, but not every course is going to be the same. So my needs may not be the same as yours, but I just find that it needs just a little bit more wheel speed. But the lower gears are fantastic on some I mean, on really steep inclines and on really rough terrain. Oil-filled shocks, I do believe that they are just plastic body. We get a digital servo, tiny servo up front, all waterproof. And then the ESC and receiver combo is waterproof as well. Now, would I take it out and run it through a mud puddle and just submerge the truck? Oh, no way. No way at all. But I have put mine in some pretty precarious situations, and it's done great, and I've not had any issues thus far. Underneath is all triangulated 4-link, just like any standard 1/10 crawler, but these links themselves are just plastic. There are a lot of different link kits out there. I bought a set for my other truck, which I will show you again. And the only other problem that I'm seeing with this rig, as it is in stock form, is the front drive shaft. I got a buddy who's had a little bit of trouble with his front drive shaft breaking and whatnot. And there's some different shafts out there for him. Injora, of all people, on Amazon makes a great set of axles for this truck, and they're really, really, really cheap as compared to the Traxxas replacements. CVDs up front, which is amazing. Full CVD. I don't know if you can actually see it in there or not. I'm sorry about the lighting, but CVDs on the front, and Traxxas, big Traxxas knuckles. Everything else is pretty much plastic. The steering links are plastic. The tires on this thing, let me tell you this. The tires on this truck to be bone stock, even the weather one that I have, are just really good performers. I am not really in a hurry to change the tires or the wheels. The wheels on this thing are amazing, man. Like old 70 slotted mags. That is just really wild. And they're not glued. They're not glued. So if you wanted to put a little bit of weight inside, and there's several different methods of doing it, you can still do it, run the stock wheels and tires, and not have an issue. You don't want to go too heavy. But there are a ton of parts out there, brass parts or just aluminum parts, whatever you want for this rig. And it's really cool to see. Of course, Traxxas is going to be behind it, but it's really cool to see a lot of different manufacturers getting behind these things. This body. Now, let's talk about this body. This body is not Lexan at all. You can see the mold. You can see places where the molds were. This is a really nice, really super detailed body. You know, molded grill on the front end. You do get headlights in this truck from the factory. Both mirrors, you know, a double 2 roll bar, and those lights up there are not, you don't have any LEDs in them. But from what I understand, you can wire it. I don't know how much of a pain in the butt it would be because it's such a small space, but there is a chance to wire it. You do get light buckets for the back tail lights. Now, there's no lights in it from the factory. I do have a light kit that I'm going to be putting in this that will have tail lights and headlights, and the headlights are going to be period correct instead of being really, really bright LEDs. But a really, really nice piece. The bed, if you have one and you have a different color, the bed is actually screwed in as one piece. Bed floor, so you can take the bed floor out, set it to the side, paint it a different color, and put it back in there. Just add a little bit of detail if you wanted to. But I'm not going to do anything as far as that goes with this thing. I'm just going to be changing a handful of parts. And so I will show you what they are now, along with radio. All right, so let's talk about what's in that box whenever you open it up. First and foremost, let's get this paperwork out of the way. The old Traxxas warranty card. You know, everybody knows how this operates. And if you want to, you fill it out, send it in. Got warranty coverage on whatever rig you got, this one or whatever Traxxas rig you got. Then you have the somewhat of a manual for this thing, what to do if your rig breaks, and pretty self-explanatory. Everybody's seen this. And then we get the actual manual for the rig, which is nicely detailed. There's stuff here. Easy read, gives you a full breakdown of the rig. Just the standard stuff that would come with any of them. So now that the board stuff's out of the way. All right, also in there, 750 milliamp hour battery, little 2-cell LiPo. Perfect I get a lot of runtime out of the one I've got in the other rig. So we've got that, and then we have this neat charger. I charge mine in my truck a lot. Little USB port. It is lit on this side. You know, they give you, let you know when it's charging, when it's finished charging and such and so forth. And it's got a pretty specific plug there. So kind of hard to lose that one. Little bag of tools, as always. Tools, some spacers, a couple Allen keys. And one thing that I thought was pretty cool for this one specifically is in this bag, they send a small trailer hitch if you want to put that on the thing, which I probably won't, but I thought it was a nice addition to have. Now, option parts that I personally have picked up. I was talking about gears. This is the optional gear set right here. There's a part number if you want to see it. And it's just 3 gears with, there's a pinion gear, a small pinion gear in there also. It's kind of hard to see with this there. 3 gears total. Takes about 15 minutes to put in. Super simple. Changes the whole, changes the performance of the truck completely. I also picked up a set of bearings for the transmission itself. Tiny little things, and I can't get this thing. I don't want to open them up because I'll probably lose them. But there is an optional thing if you want to put bearings in your transmission. You can do it. And in this, it's my buddy here. He gave me this, and if you can see that, it is a 4 LED strand. Now these are going to be just a little off from the bright LED white that comes standard in the truck. If you can see, there's 4 of them. They're all the same color, but it allows you to put tail lights in it with the provided buckets that come on that body. So I'm looking forward to putting this in there as well. And then I've got one other set here just as a backup. Don't know what I'll be putting those into, but I do have them, and it's just a bonus as well. I was talking about having the Defender first, and this isn't fitting on here correctly because I'd have to remove the bumpers, but this, you get an idea of what it would have looked like there. But very heavy body. Try to pick up midway. You can see it kind of tilts toward the back end. A lot of weight on that back end, and yeah, I could probably lose a lot of parts. But this is the old frame as well from the truck. I just stuck it all back together so I'd have it in one piece. So if anybody needed anything, it's here and it's available. So I'm just going to hang on to this as spare parts. So, and with this awesome Ford body put back on, I mean, it's just it doesn't want to get on there now. How about that? It's my luck. There we go. Now, nice piece. So what I did when I bought this one, I ran it a couple times and was happy with it, but I just knew there was a little bit more performance that I could get out of it. So I did a little research online and found a kit for it. And so I went with that. Now this is an actual cage. I bought this off of Amazon. This is called a Rock Turantula by Injora. And so basically you just pull your axles and the center skid out of the frame of the rig, and then transfer it over to this cage. Now you have to build this cage, and the screws are a little bit cumbersome because they are tiny. When I say tiny, I mean they are tiny. But if you put a little time in it and don't lose your patience, this is what it comes out to be, and it's an amazing piece. As you can see, there's 4 shock adjustments, so you could adjust the shocks any way you want. I just kind of set them up the way I used to have on my old Bomber, which is kind of what it resembles. And so I did the same thing on the front, on the other side as well. The scoop on the hood here is only there to allow a little recess for the servo to move up into. It did come with that light bar, of all things. Did come with a light bar. The light bar is operational. And that entire body cage, or whatever you want to call it, was only $35, and well worth it, because it changes. It's a whole nother rig now. Everybody's saying it's a cheater truck there at the hobby shop, but there's a lot of guys that are interested in having one, and they do. Now, I got the orange because I'm an orange guy, but there are several different colors, and there are several different manufacturers that have these, these different style of cages. But this was just a really cool piece, and when I saw it, I had to have it. Now, the only other things that I've done to it is I added brass links, and the reason why I went with links is just to get the weight down low. It does add a lot more lower weight, and I did change the drive shafts. I took the plastic shafts out, just ordered a set of these Injoras. They're not really expensive, but they are bulletproof, and it really helps the performance. There's no binding, it's just foolproof, and it's a quality piece, and really, really nice that it's cheaper than the Traxxas parts, and still to be, still to have the quality that it does. So, not knocking the Traxxas parts, but for me, it was just a better option to buy those and go with those. Now, there she is, powered up. Get a little torque steer, to buy, or torque roll whenever. You see here, a little bit of torque, body torque, but killer little rig, man. But again, $35 that chassis, and really changes the performance of that thing, and just makes it one badass rig. I do have links and drive shafts coming for that new Ford sitting down there, and I'll probably wait and do the transmission gears, all of it together, in one sitting. And what I'll do is I'll fire the camera up, get some video, show you guys. It's super easy. Don't let the size of this thing's tiny, yeah, but so simple to work on. And so I'll get video of swapping all those parts and show you what all's involved. It's nothing bad at all. But there it is, Traxxas TRX4M. So psyched to have this thing, and this is not going to be my last one. Somebody said, "Oh, we can't have another one." Guess what? I got two now. I'm going to catch up with you. But hope this video finds you happy, healthy. If you need any information, reach out to me. I'll be more than glad to put you on it. And yeah, get out there, get you something built, and go out and play, man. You guys take good care. We'll catch you on the next video. Later.